Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Tuesday, the 26th of July. Following Robert Murray McShane's reading scheme, today we read Mark chapter 8. In this chapter, Jesus asks the disciples, "Who do people say I am?" And they say, "Oh, one of the prophets or maybe Elijah." And then he asks them, "What about you? Who do you say I am?" And Peter answers, "You are the Messiah." He has this profound insight. We're told he then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, chief priests, teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. He spoke plainly about this. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. And I've always thought that's really sort of a bit bold of Peter and confused. He's just seen that Jesus is the Messiah, and now he's rebuking him for what he says the plans are. And it's easy to judge Peter, but we do the same thing. And as I was thinking about it, I thought we might not openly rebuke God and say, "God, you've got this wrong." But how often don't we pray for something? And when it doesn't happen, we pray more fervently, or God goes the wrong way, the way that we wouldn't prefer. And so we pray a little harder with a little more detail so that God maybe understands what it is you're asking and gets it right. And in that way, we're actually rebuking him. It's very difficult to say, "God, I'm trusting you. I don't see how this is working out. This isn't what I'm praying for. This doesn't look like it's going right. I can't see how this is going to work out for your glory and my good, but I trust you." And essentially, that's what Peter was being asked to do. He's been told there's this disaster, the Messiah is going to be killed. Doesn't make sense to him. And so he responds. And we're so often in the same boat. And as Jesus then rebukes Peter, we need to hear that as well. That we need to align ourselves with God and trust him and be able to say, "God, your plans and your purposes and your actions are always right. This I know. You are loving and good, and all your plans are perfect. I just don't get it. Help me." No, don't change your plan. Help me to understand your plan. That really has to be our prayer. And I believe that sort of over the years, Peter got to understand what Jesus said so plainly to him. And he got to see what Jesus was doing. And he recognized down the line that he was completely out of line and wrong to have challenged Jesus on that point. But at the time, he thought he was right. And so we've just got to pray, "God, help us to grow. Help us to understand. Help us to trust." And we recognize that in the same way that Jesus didn't give up on Peter when he got it wrong, he doesn't give up on us either. So be encouraged to keep praying, keep asking, and keep trusting that God's plan is always the best. Be blessed.